Agency, Anadolu.
Yes.
I have two questions about the Zaporizhzhia.
Yes.
As you know, the high-level employer or worker from this NPB was detained by the Russian forces.
Yes.
Do you have any information that you share with us?
Yeah.
First question.
Uh-huh.
Second question is about the safe zone, the nuclear safe zone.
Yes.
I guess you meet some different countries or some different politician leaders. Would you like to speak this topic with?
As you know, the issue of the staff is one of the most important ones. For me, it is the protection of the staff, the ability of the staff to work in normal conditions, which, of course, in the case of a war like this has gone through the window, must be in a way addressed. For example, my permanent mission in Zaporizhzhia is one of the ways to do that. They are listening to the staff, they give advice, etc. And we are doing the same here. What you refer to is a more delicate issue on which, as you know, the agency, when it could, played a role. There were cases of some experts or members of the staff of the plant which were detained, and we were able to, in a certain sense, cooperate to assure their release. This happened over the past few months. There are still a couple of cases on which we are consulting, and the situation is not entirely clear yet on that. As you know, when it comes to these issues, there are many factors involved that have to do with prisoners and the exchange of them. But when we can, we always try to play a constructive role, and I have been trying to do that. In terms of course, we value very much Turkey. I have been seeing our Russian counterparts in Turkey a couple of times. I discuss that occasionally with the Turkish government. So we value very much their contribution, the contributions they have been making in general in this conflict, above and beyond the nuclear. I think we have to exercise every possible means to stop this war, and I think any effort, and those efforts are very appreciated by the international community, and including myself, of course. It's a bit difficult, and I would ask you to bear with me on this, because it's an ongoing negotiation that involves military aspects as well, as you can imagine. But what I can say is that I have kept my channels of dialogue open. Of course, with Ukraine, and naturally I have to talk to Russia as well, and I have been doing this. What I would say is that the main issues that are being discussed are those related to the military equipment, and some related also to the radius of the zone. So you can imagine that for two countries at war, they have different objectives. And I guess they don't want to see these military objectives being affected. My message has been very clear in the sense that whatever military goals are on the table, they should not include shelling of a nuclear power plant. And on this, I'm very clear with both. I believe a reasonable way forward, since Ukraine and also the Russian Federation said that they were prepared to work on the basis of this. They were not saying this, forget about this, this is something that we cannot even contemplate. No one has said that, which gives me hope, gives me the impression that we have material to work on to get to this. When it comes to Iran, I believe that the support the IAEA has is really overwhelming. I cannot see anybody questioning what we are doing. On the contrary, I think that irrespective of the debates that may be taking place, even among the hitherto united front of the JCPOA, which has now some fractures, everybody recognizes that the work with the IAEA is indispensable. there wouldn't be a JCPOA without the IAEA. Who would verify? Who would guarantee? And the still unclarified issues on which I have been pushing would still require the agency. So if there is an area where everybody agrees that there must be cooperation, is with on the work with the IAEA. So I feel very supported and understood when it comes to my work with Iran. Of course, we are not, we haven't reached a point where we see eye to eye with Iran still on these issues. I keep trying, and I will still keep trying. You know, I only believe in a diplomatic solution to this based on the technical work of the IAEA. This is what we need to achieve, really. I am determined to continue. I am not going to stop in my efforts. My effort is aimed at making Iran cooperate with us,